Hey everyone, this is what I hope will be the first of many videos showing you how to use the Ultimeter. Today we're going to look at the custom meter. That's the meter that allows you to upload your own images or company or organisation logos and use them as a meter to track your progress, fundraising or other targets. Let's start a brand new Ultimeter to show you how to do the process all the way through. We're going to go to the Ultimeter main page and add a new Ultimeter. Let's give this one a name of CC. You'll see why in a minute. And we're going to click on Custom Meter, as that's the one we're going to use. And then we're going to go through the different options and configure it, and then I'll show you how to add it into a page. We'll set the goal format for this one to a simple amount percentage raised. We're going to change the language to English and give it an amount of halfway, so we are halfway towards our target for whatever it is that we are tracking. We don't need to do anything in the styling for this one, but we do need to add the image files, so let's go ahead and do that. The only rule with adding the image files is that they both have to be the same size. Other than that, they could be very different because one of them is going to overlay onto the top of the other as the progress increases. As we go through, that will make more sense. So let's start with what I call the base image, which is the image that represents 0% or we've achieved nothing yet in our target. And then we're going to add or upload the upper image, which would be 100% of target. So this is the same as adding any image to any post or page. It's the same principle. And there on the page you can see previews of the two images. We don't actually need to use any of these. The raised amount field here with the percentage sign is a throwback to how this used to be done, but the new version of Ultimeter allows you to track any of the goal options, which you'll see in a minute, so we don't need to worry about that. That's only if people had already used this screen to enter an amount into. We don't need to worry about those. When I was talking about the goal options just then, I meant these ones here that allow you to choose an amount in currency that you've raised, so that's great for fundraising, an amount in percentages that you've raised, so that's 50%, 20% of target, custom units, which hopefully I'll do another video on very soon, and there's some WooCommerce stuff here as well if you use WooCommerce, where the Ultimeter will track WooCommerce sales automatically, so as people buy things the Ultimeter goes up. We don't need to use milestones, so that's everything ready to go. Let's publish that. And let's copy the shortcode using the copy shortcode button. Now I know where I want to put this Ultimeter. It's going to go into a page called Creative Commons, which is here. Let's load that page up. And we're going to put the shortcode into here. So I copied the shortcode from the Ultimeter page and I've simply copied it into a standard Gutenberg block shortcode block here. Let's update that. I'm going to hit refresh on this page. Let's see what comes up. There it is. So there's a logo there. That logo could of course be your company, organisation, charity, and you can see that it's gone to 50%, which is exactly what we want. So that's the basics of an Ultimeter custom meter. The next thing I want to show you is the counter. The counter is a more accurate way of showing to your site visitors exactly how well you've done or what progress you've made. On the left hand side again you'll see the list of altimeters that we've got on the site, and for this one we're going to be using the United Nations because it's a pretty cool logo. If we go into the custom meter tab, you can see a button that says display counter. Let's turn that to yes and update it. There it is. That's the United Nations logo, this time displaying a counter at the bottom of how well we're doing. So I put in a goal amount of $100 and a raised amount of $50, and there it is, showing quite nicely what we've achieved. You can use those counters for any of the different unit types. So let's say we've got custom units, which is something that is in the Pro version. And let's say the custom unit was going to be aid parcels. So let's do the same thing again. We've raised 25 aid parcels out of a goal amount of 50. Let's update that. And then refresh our Ultimeter. And there we have it. We've now got 50 aid parcels. So it's just a nicer way for your site visitors to see exactly what you've achieved rather than them relying on interpreting the logo itself. This is a good opportunity to show you one of the issues that may arise when you use your own logo. As you can see here with the UN logo, because of the wreath that goes around the sides and bottom, even though we know that we have put in 50% of the target reached, you can see that it doesn't look like it's 50%. And that's because the blue line does go up to 50% of the top of this image, but that's because it also takes into account the wreath at the bottom. So we need to do something to make the representation of 50% look actually like it is 50%, and to do that we use an offset. Now I know that the United Nations logo that I have uploaded to WordPress here has a wreath section at the bottom that is 137 pixels high, and I can demonstrate that by going into the inspection tool, and you can see that at the top it does hit the circle, but at the bottom we have the wreath. So this distance here I know is 137 pixels, and whoever's designed your logo will be able to help you to find out those measurements. If not, any tool like Photoshop has a ruler that you can use. So to create that offset, I'm going to go back into the custom meter, which is this star here. I'm going to type in 137. I'm going to update that. And what I now expect to happen is that because we have entered 50% as our reached amount, I would expect that to now be halfway up the world, not taking into account the wreath. It's quite a useful logo to use, this one, because it's all spaced in the exact measurements, so we can see exactly where we are halfway. So I think that's a much better looking custom meter now, because it ignores the bits at the bottom that we don't want. We also have a top offset, so if your logo has stuff at the top that you want to take out, then you simply need to put that into the top offset box here. So let's take what we've learnt so far and see if we can come up with something a little bit more complicated and a lot more cool. Let's have a look at how a shopping trolley might work. I've already created the shopping trolley meter on here, and it uses a simple empty shopping trolley and then a blue shopping trolley to go over the top. And I've also created the page, so let's go straight into that and you can see how it looks. So that's pretty cool. Let's change the logo slightly so that instead of a completely blue shopping trolley, we have the purple shopping trolley, but in the middle, in the inside, will be blue instead. So there's a ready-made logo, and let's update it to that. Let's refresh, and now you can see that the inside of the shopping trolley is filling up. So it just takes a really cool concept and, in my opinion, makes it even cooler. It's a better representation, I guess, of how well we're doing, or what progress we've made, or what fundraising we've done. But you can see the obvious issue that we're at 50%, as we have been all the way through, and that shopping trolley is not 50% full. So we need to go back to our offsets. I've calculated the offsets in pixels for both the bottom and this time the top, and I know that they're going to be 115 pixels for the bottom and 40 pixels for the top. Let's update that and see if that makes a difference. And there you have it, a shopping trolley half full as we would expect. And those offsets obviously work for any amount that you give it. So let's change the goal options to just 10%. And we now have a shopping trolley that is only 10% full. And similarly, let's make it 75%. And there's a shopping trolley 3/4 full. So I hope that's been useful. We've covered all the different things that you can do with a custom meter, and we've also covered how to create one from the start and add it to any postal page using the shortcode. We've learnt about offsets, and we've learnt about the different goal options that you can use to represent your data that you are tracking. If you have any other questions at all, then please get in contact with me through the contact form on my website, and I will be able to help you out. Until the next video, thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you again soon.